You're welcome back. Time now for sports, and we will be telling you about some reunion of sorts between Jose Mourinho and his former employers, Chelsea. But before that, Ore Kwampofo is here with me. Yesterday, the GFA held an ordinary congress. Tell us about the takeaways from that.
Well, it was the 25th, ordinary congress by the GFA, and this was the first ever by the new association, Kato Kraku and his team, and so it was key ahead of what they want to give to Ghana football. And it took place yesterday at Pram Pram, and I think that the biggest takeaway was the fact that now the Ghana Premier League is going to be an 18-team league, and that was affirmed by Congress. Initially, or in the past seasons, it's always been 16 teams. But due to the nature of how the league ended, as to what happened with Anas and all that, Great Olympics and King Faisal have now been amended into the new league. So that moves it from 16 to 18. Now initially, it was supposed to be 5 teams who would get relegated, so that we go back to the 16-team league. But that was rejected by Congress, and the Premier League clubs and the Premier League board did vote to actually have the 18-team go on forever. So that means that now 3 teams would be relegated to Division 1, and 3 teams would also be promoted to the Premier League as well. And also the final slot on the RFA, the GFA Executive Council, was taken by Malaji Zida, and he was voted as the second rep of the Executive Council, and that means that he would also chair the referee committee. And also there was a case of the auditors presenting the books of the normalization committee. Since they acted as the GFA for the past year, they had to show that what they did with the money was clean, and so Congress also accepted that as well. And in terms of the independent committees, the members were voted into. There was appointment of the independent committee, the judiciary, there's the appeals committee, and the ethics committee as well. So I'm sure we'll be going through the full list of the members in our various bulletins later on the day. But that was, I think, the major stuff from the GFA Congress.
All right, now to the English Premier League.
The big one.
The big one. A reunion of sorts. Jose Mourinho gets to meet his old employers. I mean, first of all, before we go into the details of this fixture, is there still a bittersweet relationship between Jose and Chelsea?
I think that would be difficult to call, because Chelsea fans know what Jose Mourinho did for them. And, coming into the 21st century, it was always going to be difficult for Chelsea, with the amount of money that Abramovich had pumped into the club. They needed a coach who could move them to the right direction. And in terms of achievement, Jose really did get that with Chelsea, especially in his first stint from 2003 to 2007, where he made them a powerhouse in England, winning the Premier League and also winning the FA Cup with them as well. And I think that he's been a very key figure in the history of Chelsea. And even during his second stint, when he came in from 2011 to 2014 as well, that did not end so well. But I think that it would be remembering the good times with Jose themselves. Now, coming to the match
itself,
Jose Mourinho has a very good record with former sides that he has managed, especially when he's playing at home against them. So Chelsea fans and Chelsea have to beware.
George and Co.
Certainly they do have to beware. But I think that Chelsea fans are not really going into this match full of confidence, and the players themselves, because of their recent losses to Everton, Bournemouth and West Ham, sides that they really should be blowing away. Initially they were struggling with the big teams, Man City, Manchester United, Liverpool. But now, if you're adding the small teams, then that becomes a big problem. So Frank Lampard would probably have to tweak this and get his side winning again to get confidence. For Jose, he's just lost 1 game so far with Tottenham, and they are now just 1 win away from jumping into the top 4. Remember when Pochettino was sacked, they were 11 points behind Chelsea in the top 4. So now if they win against them, they go into the top 4 on Sunday. So big match on Sunday.
Big match. Then just before I let you go, Reku, can you just quickly run us through some of the other matches that we should look out for?
I think another important game would be Arsenal-Everton.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
There's been a lot of talk about that, because Arsenal are supposed to employ Arteta before that game, and Ancelotti, we know, are close to also employing employing Ancelotti. So it's an interesting tie with that as well. And of course there would be some interesting games. Barcelona playing Alaves, Real Madrid playing Atletico Bilbao, and Barcelona and Real Madrid this season looks like they just mirror each other in terms
Neck
of
to neck.
results. Yeah, so if Barcelona draw, Real Madrid decide to draw, both teams on top with 36 points, and they look inseparable at the moment. In Italy, it would be Inter Milan playing Genoa as Conte's men try and go back on top of the Serie A table. And also in the German Bundesliga, we have the likes of Bayern Munich and Dortmund will be playing Wolfsburg, and Bayern Munich playing Hoffenheim as well, as they try and catch up to Leipzig and Mönchengladbach at the top of the Bundesliga table.
Thank you very much, Ore Kwampofu, with all the matches to look out for here. That's our show for today. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Up next is JoyNews Interactive with Najee Doku.